Welcome to ICFAI. Welcome to ICFAI. Today we have with us someone who has established himself very well in the field of marketing and branding. So much so that he has positioned the brand rightfully in the market, including the brand ICFAI. He has garnered several awards in this field and is very well known personality. So hi, this is Ankita from HyBiz Tv, and today we have with us Sudhakar Rao Garu, the Director Branding for ICFAI. Hi Sudhakar Rao Garu, how are you doing today?
Good afternoon, welcome to ICFAI.
So, what does ICFAI stand for and what is your role with regards to ICFAI?
ICFAI stands for Merit with Ethics. ICFAI is an institution which is very serious into academics and education, and ICFAI means only education. We have been in this space for the last 4 decades, and we restricted ourselves to the higher education space and no other business. Therefore, it is a resolve for us to stay committed to the higher education space. And compared to any other education institution, there would be digressions, but in our case, it's not. So we are completely and organically staying focused in higher education space.
So with regards to ICFAI, what has been your own personal journey from where ICFAI used to be then and to now what ICFAI has established itself as?
ICFAI from right from the beginning has been well positioned as a brand which is very serious into education. As I mentioned earlier, the original tenets of brand have been providing merit or valuing merit along with ethics. Merely merit is not enough. You need to combine it with ethics. So these are the founding principles on which ICFAI has been established. From there, over several decades, now of course, depending on the context of the students, depending on the evolving situations, new technologies and its impact, of course we have to make certain changes which we are making in our course of journey. But my own personal journey with the institution is that I have always taken pride in working with ICFAI in any role that I started with. I started with roles in marketing, I started with corporate relations, I have gone up to international operations, university operations, as SBU head, so on and so forth. So in all the roles, what I have seen is that the ethos of ICFAI as an organization has been very, very encouraging for a youngster who started working with ICFAI, and also it has been intellectually stimulating. It has been intellectually stimulating for the reason that you get to be in the knowledge sector, you are providing knowledge, and you are also having an opportunity of looking at what is the result of this knowledge when you impart it to the students and how the students are shaping up in the market. It is extremely fulfilling and satisfying to see that there are results which are measurable over certain short and long cycles, and therefore the journey of career has been extremely fulfilling for me over the last few years that I worked with ICFAI.
Okay, that's wonderful to know, sir. Sir, can you also talk about how, ICFAI stands apart from rest of the universities that we have? We have so many choices as students, but as you said, like ICFAI has, several ethos and standards and, maturity with regards to education. Can you give us a light on how your journey has been throughout and, why should students choose ICFAI?
ICFAI is very unique in the fact that we are 100% focused on only into higher education, and we are not focused into any other allied businesses. There are people who are into real estate, there are people who are into hospitality, people into liquor, steel and other kinds of businesses, whereas ICFAI is only into education, and therefore we are at our Puritan best in terms of our investment, in terms of our emotional attachment, and also all our resources are concentrated into higher education space. That's the first one. Second one, we believe that education has to be much more matured in its approach, in its consumption and its delivery. Both from student learning point of view as well as from industry and the society point of view, if education is not seriously taken, the quality of the society is seriously impacted. Therefore, we thought that we should first have a quality product, quality program, quality basket of academic programs, and then go in search of some quality students and deliver that along with some quality faculty members. So, ICFAI is probably the only institution in this country which has begun in a very unconventional manner, and that makes it very different. That is, I'll give you an example. Traditionally, what people do is they first go and look for students. If you have students, then they recruit faculty members because there are students. And when you have faculty members, you go and look for creating classrooms and then put all the infrastructure. Whereas ICFAI first has created the infrastructure, the classroom is paid, the curriculum is there, but the sequence for us is very simple. Number one, you should have curriculum. What are we going to tell? What is the essence of our curriculum? We established that as the first one. Second, who is going to deliver this? Good faculty members, cutting edge faculty members will be brought in to deliver this. Third one, where is it going to be delivered? What is the infrastructure we are going to have, the hard infrastructure? After all these are there, then we go in search of the students and recruit the students. Whereas it is reverse in many other educational institutions, and this is one significant way in which ICFAI is very, very different from others. The last point which I want to mention is that we bring a level of balance, we bring a level of maturity to what we speak and what we behave. We try to minimize the gap between what we talk and the way we walk. There's an sincere attempt to make it minimal. Of course, you cannot reduce it 100%, but there is a very conscious effort towards that. The other thing is, we don't accept capitation fees, we don't accept donations, we don't accept any recommendations or canvassing for our admissions. It is just a merit list, and we have taken people through admission tests, and there's a good process of selection for that, and we strictly go by that. Okay. And when we develop the students, these students are supposed to have an understanding that not just the merit that is important, but ethical behavior is extremely important. When they graduate and work in organizations, they will have to behave ethically in the society as well as in corporates.
So, Sudhakar Garu, what are the courses that we have in ICFAI? What's the enrollment process and how's the recruitment here?
So, we have about 4 different schools. We have a school of management which is called ICFAI Business School, and we have ICFAI Tech School which is engineering. We have ICFAI Law School which is about law, programs in law, and we have ICFAI School of Architecture, and the final one is ICFAI School of Social Sciences. So, we have these schools. ICFAI Business School focuses on management education, which is MBA, BBA and PhD program. ICFAI Tech School talks about BTech, MTech and PhD programs. And then we have ICFAI Law School talking about BA LLB, BBA LLB, LLB and LLM and PhD programs. Then we have ICFAI School of Architecture, which is talking about BArch 5 years program. And we have ICFAI School of Social Sciences talking about BA Economics, Psychology, so on and so forth, and honors programs as well. Enrollment has got 3 steps. If you want to enter into ICFAI, you have to write a written test, that's the admission test. And after that, you have group discussion followed by personal interview. Now, your performance in interview, group discussion and the written test cumulatively will be assessed, and also a weightage is given to how you have fared in your previous academic background. For example, if you are entering as undergrad student, how did you score in your +2 and how did you perform in up to 10th class as well will be considered with a certain weightage. So, a cumulative evaluation of all this will result in admission into ICFAI. So, we feel that final placement of the students is not a mere wish, and it is also not an accident. It is a result of a coherent, carefully organized and worked out strategy in terms of taking care of the students, preparing them internally for the final placements. For example, the soft skills development or subject level preparations and interview level training, that is called mock interviews, is provided in every semester, and they are eventually driven towards the final placement, and in a natural process they will be more equipped. If you prepare them only in the final semester or if you prepare them only at the time of placements, things will not work for you. Therefore, we have realized that we need to keep them at ease by giving these inputs spread over the entire program, all the courses and all the semesters, and that is how one is very organically equipped to handle the interview situation. So our final placements is very good. We give placements up to 97%, 98%, and most of them are placed in leading corporates of India and abroad. International placements are also there, but largely Indian corporates have come here to this wonderful campus, and they have absorbed the students because we believe that placements is a result of corporate relations, and corporate relations is a combination of internal preparedness as well as external networking put together.
Sir, so how many universities you have in India, and what sets apart each of the university at different places?
ICFAI group is blessed with about 11 universities across the country. We have 11 universities, 9 business schools, 7 tech schools, 9 law schools, and a huge online program. We have roughly about 20 campuses around the country. And ICFAI over the last 4 decades, as I mentioned, has been building organically, systematically, slow and steadily. It's not that on one day we have these 20 campuses across the country, but this is the result of our hard work that we have put in over several years, and infrastructure costs a lot. Therefore, not everybody can have infrastructure on day one. So we have also moved through our own story of starting in a humble way in small campuses and then moving to some larger campuses. But infrastructure, as you can see in this campus right now, it is more transparent and accessible. If you stand at one end of the campus, you can see the other end of the campus very easily. It is not blocked by the high structures. So an open atmosphere is the philosophy in an institution. Then the architecture also has to be built in an open and transparent manner. A student standing at one end should be able to see the standing student who is on the other side of the campus as well. That means it is much more welcome. So that's the philosophy that goes into each and every campus across the country in all the states we are. We have about 5 universities in Northeast. These 5 universities in Northeast are in Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Tripura and Sikkim. And within non-Northeast, that is the other parts of the India, we have absolutely no problem. When students are shouting, we are talking, let this be captured as it is. We have 6 universities in the other parts of the country. They are Hyderabad, which is right now where we are positioned, Bangalore, we have Jaipur, we have Himachal Pradesh, Dehradun, Raipur and Ranchi. So these are the universities that we have, and these universities are identified in locations where majority of them are unmetros, taking quality education to unmetros, to the remote corners of India. Our business school education is a very different plan altogether in terms of footprint. Business school goes by metros, whereas all of the university programs and undergraduate programs and programs that are required for various nook and corners in this country are catered to in an unmetro kind of fashion, and that is the way it has to be delivered, and therefore that philosophy is ingrained into our expansion plan.
So how have you implemented sustainability and cultural aspect into each college that you have?
Well, any philosophy including sustainability is not a mere lip service or a statement on a signboard that we have in a campus. Any campus can actually take printouts of green campus and paste all over, and all visitors like you can actually look at those things and think that it's a green campus. Green campus is also not just by having green plants around. You have lawns, well manicured, it looks very good, but that does not that does not justify that you are green enough. So my and our belief is that green campuses are sustainable campuses which optimize the available resources, which has a philosophy of not wasting the natural resources so much and also not polluting the environment that we are living in. We have a responsibility of, coming onto this world, and therefore we need to protect the earth. We should be a non-plastic organization. We should not overly use non-renewable energies. So we should definitely look at those energy resources which are other than the conventional. We should go for solar power, we should go for wind power and other powers that we have available. So in our campus, what we have done in a small way is that we have harnessed the solar power. We have a large campus here, as you can see. It's a 100-acre campus. So we have tapped into this solar power, and this solar power is sufficient for us to run our operations to a large extent, and we do that. We have water harvesting pits when there is rain. We have a huge flora and fauna, and when you look at the campus, you will understand a large number of trees. We have about 8,000 species of plants. We have birds. We have about 2,000 species of birds. And when you walk around the campus, you feel that you're in the habitat of a green, sustainable campus, which has retained its original texture, which means that before we started the campus, there was a lake here. So we retained that lake into the campus. Before we started this campus, there were lots of trees. So we retained those trees. 80% of the campus is non-concrete. 20% of the campus is academic buildings and concrete structures. Therefore, you can understand how judiciously we have moved into our practice of sustainability. The other and most important aspect is sustainability is a mindset. To the students who are studying here, sustainability issue is called staying power. You should be able to sustain over a period of time in your businesses, in your willpower. If you start any project, you should not wither out, you should not drop out in between. So sustainability is also a mindset. As part of our education that we impart, we also build sustainability of mindsets apart from sustainability of environment and energy resources that usually people talk about.
So guys, we see a lot of awards around this room, and they've also recently won an award too. So congratulations for it, sir. Can you throw us some light on what are these awards that we have here, and which is the one that you recently won?
See, as an institution, we have won lots of awards, and we keep winning at least a couple of awards every single month. And we are right now standing in front of what is called the Excellence, Center of Excellence. It is called ICFAI Case Research Center. ICFAI Case Research Center is one of the largest contributors of case studies to the world, and we are the second largest in that rank after Harvard. So we are standing in an extremely highly internationally acclaimed kind of a center, and these awards are presented to us by various competitions across the world. So globally, our position is number 2 in development of case studies. As an institution, we have got many such awards, and the wonderful faculty members and the case developers and others are sitting behind me in various cabins here. And it's a moment of pride to recall that we are standing actually in a center of excellence. But the award which I have received recently is called C.K. Prahalad Chair for Marketing Award for the year 2024. This award has been constituted by MIT ADT University Pune. They established this platform to honor distinguished individuals from industry and academia who have contributed to the development of fields like marketing, HR, and operations, so on and so forth. But I was chosen for C.K. Prahalad, the Chair for Marketing Award. And this was done through a selection process of looking at various individuals, and finally they zeroed in on me. But what was the biggest surprise to me is that I didn't know anybody about their leadership team in that university. However, that's a surprise, number 1. Number 2, the surprise is that they are into higher education space, and I am also into higher education space. And therefore, why did they actually select me was a big surprise to me. The other 2 awardees, for example, Chanakya Chair for Finance and Economics was given to one Ms. Pallavi, and the HR award was given to one Mr. Bindra. They are from industry who worked with IT, Cognizant and Hewlett-Packard kind of sectors, whereas Pallavi worked with A.T. Kearney, Citibank, so on and so forth. So when you honor someone from industry, there is a reason why you look at them, you get a lot of reputation from that, and there is an association ongoing. Whereas with someone who is part of their fraternity, why should they honor me was a big surprise to me. But I'm very happy that they looked at me. This award actually doubles up my responsibility of contributing to the field of marketing. Whatever I have done in ICFAI and before in the area of marketing and branding has been looked at in a very positive way, and they have kind of been very generous to honor me by calling me to the university and present that citation to me. But yes, I better behave as a very good marketer, not just to receive awards, but also my practice should inspire the future generations of marketers and also some of the students who keep looking at us. So I want to thank the MIT ADT University Pune, their Senate, their academic board, their board of governors, and also the selection committee that they have put together to zero in on me, and I am always thankful to them. But it is not just the awards, it's not just the recognitions. We should also practice it in our day-to-day work and make sure that our contribution is there every day for the advancement of the field that we are belonging to.
Okay, sir, when it comes to your own, personal journeys, I have seen some of the things that you've done. You're a very multifaceted person who has, I believe you have done some course in design thinking, which I'm completely clueless of. And also you've written some books. So can you also talk about that as well?
Yeah, I have specialized in design thinking from MIT Sloan School of Management, and design thinking is very dear to me. It is the fact that design thinking as a tool helps us solve problems. For example, there is a problem with a particular team or particular organization. You sit with that particular team and make sure that you elicit probable solutions from them and keep removing what is not working and what works. You will pursue what works, and accordingly, the iteration process looks very natural so that the team owns it up. They also belong to the whole process of making these decisions. So design thinking is beautiful, it is iterative, it is people-centric, and it is centric to the people that it belongs to. Much after we leave that situation, after developing a solution, it belongs to those people for whom we developed. So they need to own it. As a community, they need to own it. So such experiments are beautiful, and for organizations, for industries, for social teams, everywhere design thinking is extremely useful. So I went and picked up some skills in that. I have done a few workshops in various organizations who have invited me to do so, and it's been extremely beneficial. That is one. Second, I have authored one book. It is called Lessons from the Game Changers. Every Friday, we do wise views leadership conversations on an online platform. Every Friday, we have done 151 so far. Today evening, we are going to do one. And all these lessons are distilled and put in a form of a book, and that's called Game Changers. And that book is for the benefit of learners, not just for students. It is for working professionals, it is for entrepreneurs, it is for authors, it is for homemakers, it is for people from sports and other domains as well. So every individual who has a taste for learning, a taste for development and self-growth, I think these learnings from various leaders and the conversations with them will be extremely useful, and therefore I have put it together. So I am very thankful to ICFAI for publishing this book. Many more books are in the pipeline, and there are a couple of other books that I am planning to author, which are midway. They are all in works, and as and when the books are published and announced, probably we can take the names of those books.
So, sir, how have you implemented culture into ICFAI with regards to the students, whether it's campuses or whether it's courses?
I think culture is an extremely important template that comes in very slowly and gradually. But it starts with the leadership. Leaders will have to think through very carefully and build in those templates of culture so that others will probably look at that. Initially, they look at those templates, they kind of start liking them, and then slowly they implement, follow, and they become the ambassadors and champions of that culture for the new members who are going to join, either as students or as faculty and students, whoever it is, any stakeholder will actually follow that. But culture, according to me, is driven by largely the leadership, and therefore the responsibility of the top guys in the organization to make sure they have those practices. Just because you talk to them saying that culturally you have to be ABC, it will not happen. Culturally, you will become ABC if others follow that in lead. So subsequently, the newcomers will only just toe the line and probably see that everyone else is following, so I will also join that, and then it becomes culture. For example, the culture of the students here is to look at the academics as a very serious exercise, and they participate in running the campus. They are into various clubs. So the leadership lessons that they learn by being on the job, by running various clubs like finance, marketing, advertising, environment, so on and so forth. When they have recruitment into their clubs from the juniors, they do recruitment process, they do selection process, they lend leadership, they organize programs, event management skills, popularizing it, digital marketing skills, and raising funds. That's another skill that they will have to. They have to convince the management, their faculty members, that they are going to hold all these events, and then they have to write a report. There's a competition across these 33 clubs that they go through. So if the culture is set, and if you take care of these things in the first 1 or 2 rounds, the subsequent batches will just follow that. which means a lot of hard work goes into in setting the template of the culture from the faculty members and the leaders, and subsequently the students will follow that. And when it is followed two times regularly, annually, year after year, then it is seen by a newcomer as a cultural template. And then we are very happy that without even prodding much, in the years to follow, a lot of students take care of these things as a natural habit. And that's when we think that we have arrived. And that is what is happening in this campus. That's about culture setting. About the faculty members and the leaders, in this organization, you will find a large number of people who are more than 10 years old in this institution. I think this is a very good signal to anyone that academics is a serious business, and in academics, you have to have those bouts of fulfillment that you can look at. But these cycles are, say, 2-year cycles, 4-year cycles. You need to see your students graduating beautifully. And when they graduate and when you stand here to bid goodbye to them, you will feel very, very happy that you have produced a well-rounded individual to the industry and to the society. So that is a culture of expectation and excellence. And therefore, large number of people have worked for more than 10 years at ICFAI. Across all the campuses in India, you will find this. And this is not by accident. You will have to work very hard for that. And they have to find that affinity of working with ICFAI, and every day they must find the joy of learning to come back to office, come back to campus day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year for 10 years and more. So that's culture, according to me.
How have you taken care of the regional aspects? There are many regions in India, and each of the regions have different characters. For example, if we take Himachal, we take Telangana, we take different states. So how have you imbibed those specific local characters, regional characters into your campuses and your students and, you know, everything else?
When we offer these programs across the country, the universities that we have in Northeast in terms of, say, Mizoram, Meghalaya, Nagaland, we have all these 5 universities in Northeast, including Tripura and Sikkim. These universities cater to the regional requirements. For example, there is an economic requirement to be pushed in terms of, say, handicrafts, in terms of literature, in terms of music, in terms of food, in terms of ethnic requirements of products building. I think those will have to be taken care of. Our universities based in Northeast, namely Sikkim, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland and Tripura, these Northeastern states, they have requirements of ethnic economic development, and therefore whatever profession is more valid and more required there, I think we offer courses that fit into that kind of profession. For example, hospitality, tourism development is more prevalent in some of the northeastern states like Meghalaya as well as Sikkim, and therefore we offer those Bachelor of Tourism and Travel. Our students are recruited by leading corporates and hotels and hospitality units from across the country, but we believe that they fundamentally go back to their zones and work in their states, and primarily those students owe it to their states because their state has developed them, they have given them education, and only in the space of higher education we are providing a degree and competence, so they should go back and work for the development of that state. So that is the logic behind integrating cultural, ethnical requirements of a region when we offer the programs in a particular university. It is not that one size fits all. For example, in Himachal Pradesh, there is a dairy development requirement, there is a pharmaceutical programs requirement in Himachal Pradesh because there is a special zone for pharmacology, pharmaceutical development, healthcare, so on and so forth. So in our ICFAI University, Himachal Pradesh, we have focused on launching the bachelor's programs in pharmaceutics and dairy development. I think these programs are finding very good response from the students as well as parents in those regions. For example, we have one program in Tripura where we offer paramedical courses. Paramedical courses include your physiotherapy, your training programs, your psychology, counseling programs and all. They find placement, they find gainful employment in these regions, and therefore we are given a regional push. See, several states have given us permission to start private universities. As I said, 10 universities we have apart from this deemed university, so total 11. In those 10 universities where we have established, there is a requirement to cater to the state's requirements as well. For example, a state tells us that we need more teachers for schools. So we have developed a BEd program, and we offer that program in our campus. We develop the teachers, we make sure that those teachers are quite competent and bullish when they go to and teach at schools. So we are indirectly aiding the development of school education in that state, and that's what the state requires, and we owe it to the state. So you cannot work in isolation, you have to work in conjunction with the requirement of that state. So that is how we integrate the regional requirements into quality education, and then we offer the program basket.
Could you also throw us light on what are some of the futuristic visions that ICFAI has with regards to the course and over the next few years?
I will talk about the brand ICFAI. ICFAI stands on three important brand tenets. One is innovation, second one is technology, and the third one is entrepreneurial mindset. Innovation in our curriculum, whatever we offer, has to be the most needed program in the current times. Therefore, we innovate for the requirement of the times that we live in, and those innovative programs are launched. Second is the technology. Cutting edge technology is deployed in delivering these innovative curriculum across the bodies of knowledge for the students of this university and various other universities in the ICFAI group. So that is cutting edge technology. Third, we bring in what is called entrepreneurial mindset, and this entrepreneurial mindset has to be the characteristic feature for every student who is graduating from the portals of this great institution. That means they should have risk-taking ability and also ownership, whether they work for themselves or work for someone else. That is called entrepreneurial mindset. So on these three important tenets, the brand ICFAI is well placed for the last 4 decades. That's the first part. Second part, going forward, what are we looking at ICFAI? I think when we launched BTech AI, we have started what is called a social media campaign, ICFAI. So we have put a dot, ICF.AI, and we have kind of signaled that AI and emerging technologies are part of our DNA, and therefore that social media campaign has run when we launched the BTech program, BTech in Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. So going forward, we will be focusing quite a bit on how the influence of artificial intelligence is on in terms of learning, in terms of the classroom learning, in terms of how personalized learning can be impacted. That is the first one. Second one, we look at the future of work. When they graduate and work in organizations, how artificial intelligence is going to impact them, how emerging technologies like blockchain, how emerging technologies like robotics, how emerging technologies like cyber security is going to affect them. All these are going to be dealt with in a very, very careful manner when they are with us, and therefore that defines the future of work, and that also tells how serious we are about their future. And the third and the most important thing is the future skills. The future of the skills that we would require in industry and in the society that we are going to live is about empathy, is about learning the technologies, is about being ethical as well. So ethics, empathy, leadership and excellence in all these cutting edge technologies is something that we can do. So part of it actually comes by telling them what they have to speak on, what they have to learn, and part of it comes by looking at us, observing our own practices, like for example ethics and empathy. They pick up and imbibe from what we are. So a large part of the responsibility is also on us to indirectly signal to them that they have to be ethical and empathetic. On the other hand, we provide online courses, we provide exposure to some of these skills, digital skills for example, skills in cyber security for example, skills in dealing with the new age requirements, the skills that are required to handle this manpower with the new challenges that we are all facing. This world is going to be much more VUCA, that is, it's much more volatile, much more uncertain, much more complex and much more ambiguous. So how in this emerging scenario, these kids need to have the skills imbibed in them is what we are going to do them. Overall, in a summary, what I can say is we want the students to live very peacefully on this campus, eat healthy food and have a very, very progressive kind of thinking, and they become a very, very responsible to the society that they live in and also responsible for the country that we belong to. We will have a considerable focus on liberal arts education. Liberal arts education is not just having a department or a school of liberal arts. It is the ethos in which we redesign the curriculum. For example, somebody who is studying BTech computer science will also take some courses in humanities and natural sciences, because the knowledge of multiple disciplines is mandatory, and once you have that kind of knowledge, you will be able to solve problems, you will be able to think creatively, and such individuals are more demanded in various organizations now in future. So liberal arts education is not just a feel good factor, it is a business imperative. It is also partaking into your abilities to cut across the molds and the fiefdoms that you belong to. People usually generally don't go out of their domain. Here we are forcing people to get out of their domain and their own specialization, and also take a few courses by mandate, so that they learn those aspects, they learn those perspectives, and they become multi-disciplinary in their nature and their ethos. And that is what is liberal arts education. ICFAI will have to do a lot of work on this. We are beginning to get into this, and I'm sure this is not going to happen in 1 year. It is a project that will start now and very actively catch momentum in the next couple of years, and it will be beautifully established in the next 5 to 10 years.
Thank you so much, sir. So you have told us everything about ICFAI. So all the students who wants to have the freedom of thought as well as creative mindset with growth and entrepreneurial mindset, they must come here and join. This is Ankita signing off.